Hey guys, and welcome to yet another Factorio tutorial. In this tutorial I'll be talking about belts. This is the basic belt tutorial. The advanced belt tutorial will come much later on, but I'll say much later on, it'll be tomorrow. So let's have a look at the belts. So the first belt you've got is your yellow belt, which is your basic transport belt. It moves pretty slowly. The next belt you've got is your fast transport belt, which moves obviously much faster. And then you've got your express transport belt. They are not twice the speed of each other. They are, as far as I remember, it's 1.6 times. So red's 1.6 times yellow and blue's 1.6 times red, as far as I recall. You don't really need to know that. They just move the speed that they move. The difference in the speed I will show you within the next few tutorials, exactly what that will accomplish and what you should use them for. So here we'll see the belt load, basically, is what I'm showing off here. So the amount of load that each belt can take. So in this first one, you've got a ring of pure yellow, a ring of yellow with red corners, and a ring of yellow with blue corners. And here you've got a ring of red with blue corners, and here is just a ring of sheer blue. I loaded these with inserters, and each of the boxes that they loaded with had the exact same amount in them. So we can see here that the yellow corners has got the best load, and that is basically because there's compression loss on the corners, where as you see the iron starts slowing down in the inside corner, and that compresses everything for you. This is not a good thing, although if you're just going for sheer load, then it is. If you're going for throughput, then it is not. Then you can see the one with the red corners has a lower load, but it actually has a better throughput. As you see, the iron all moves smoothly without any sort of backing up or anything, which is a fantastic way to transport your stuff, but we'll show that over here and over here as well. Then we've got the blue corners, which has, as you can see, it's got a lesser load, which indicates a higher throughput again. But that could just be the marginal error from using inserters. Then we've got 943 and 931. So you can see that the yellow belt actually has a higher load and therefore can attain higher throughputs. So you've got 935 there and 939. See, but once you start increasing the corners and making the compression loss better, you can see that the load goes up. So we're actually getting a lot higher throughput using a red belt with blue corners than you were with a regular red belt, which was 943, and it's down to 935 now. But it's still a lower load than a yellow belt. The as far as I recall, the throughput between red with blue corners and yellow with red corners is pretty similar. Or rather, oh god, it's still like the 1.6 times. As far as I recall, the throughput with the red and blue is the best throughput you can get until you start looking at the blue belt. Blue belt with blue corners is 943 by ways of load, so pretty much exactly the same as red with red. You can see there's some compression loss in the corners again. I don't know if you can see that, it's moving pretty quick. But yeah, there's the different loads. Loads don't really mean much until you start looking at throughput. So throughput is essentially your load times speed. So the faster you can get stuff places, the better. But here's a little demonstration I've put for compression loss. You're going to need to look very carefully to see exactly how this works. I'm going to extend this down a little bit. Oh, I need some iron. Let's fill up my inventory on iron and make a ton of these. There we go. It looks like we've dropped a load on the floor. Alright, let's pull this down to here, and let's pull this down to here. What was that connecting? Oh, it was my roboport. If you're wondering why there's a roboport, I was using it to build some stuff. Right, so the first thing I'll do is I'll connect this, and you can see, you'll watch it go down, and you'll watch the compression here. Everything is super compressed. And then as it starts to get down to here, you can see, look at all that compression lost. So that was all like that when it started going through, and now it's all super thick. Let's drop this one in and this one in, and we'll watch the difference in the compression between that, which was pretty damn uncompressed, and then you see these two, which are really compressed. That means that we're going to get a higher throughput overall than this one, because for every move that makes, it's missing pretty much 2 iron. And then you can see it all compress up to the maximum as it gets to the bottom. So that's demonstrating compression loss. So you're always better off with a yellow belt with red corners than a yellow belt with yellow corners. And you don't really need to bother about blue corners because the compression is pretty much the same, and therefore the throughput is pretty much the same. The next thing I'm going to show is I'm going to demonstrate compression loss even further by showing you the red and the blue belts, the difference between red and the blue belts. So automatically you can see that these complete blue belts going a lot quicker than the red belts, so you're getting your material there quicker, but there is an awful lot of compression loss. Look at the compression here with the red belts with the blue corners, and then look at this, and that just gets worse and worse and worse as time goes on, but we'll leave that ticking for now. The only way to counter this, because obviously blue belt is the highest level belt you can get, the way to counter blue belt corners is if you use this little double elbow joint. So essentially what you have to do is you have to split it into two, swing it round, and then split it back. And if you do that, that'll fix some of the compression loss and everything should be good. I can't even pick up that to show you. But yeah, so there, that shows you the how to check load and what sort of belts have got the highest load, checking compression loss, and here's showing you a more extreme version of compression loss. So in the next episode, I'm going to show you some more advanced stuff that you can do with belts, including splitting and side loading, etc, etc, when to do each and what's the best option. I'll also show you the main bus, so be sure to tune in for that. But as with all of these episodes, do remember, if you have anything that comes to mind, if you've got anything that you want me to discuss, then please do drop it in the comments section, and I will be glad to cover it. So, as always, thanks a lot for watching. I've been Steve, you've been awesome, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.